Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Mujer De Éxito Unbounded, Woman of Success Without Limits. And today I'm actually recording live without my background. I'm in the process of changing my platform. So right now I am playing, if you will, trying to learn a new platform. But anyway, so welcome to another episode of Mujer De Éxito Unbounded, because today is going to be an awesome day. Today, I am going to talk about my 6-cent story. I'm going to share a little bit more about me, because I've been getting some emails and been getting some, requests to share a little bit more about me, because somebody actually leaked something. So as you listen, and I hope that you will leave me a comment, I'd like to know your thoughts. But if you're just joining me right now on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, gracias por estar aquí. My name is Marti Angel, and I am your host of the Mujer De Éxito Unbounded, Woman of Success Without Limits. And here it is a podcast where we talk about all things mindset, multiple streams of income, soul-aligned leadership. And like I said before, if you are here for the first time, welcome. Yo soy Marti Angel. I am your Latina Biz Coach, digital mentor, and today I am your 6-cent sister. All right, so today's episode is just not another business tip or a marketing strategy. No, today I'm spilling the beans. Today I'm letting you in on knowing something about me that I never ever share. I don't always share, right? Only those close to me, very close to me, which is my immediate family, know about this. Not even my cousins. Nobody knows about this. My aunts, no one. So this was a secret that was kept by me and my paternal grandmother. But this episode is going to be a gift for you, un regalito para ti, a gift that has shaped who I am, how I live, and how I lead. Ready? Okay, so let's take it back. Desde que era una niña, since I was a child, I knew I was different. While other kids were busy with their toys and cartoons, I was noticing energy, and I was always trying to concoct things out of herbs and things. And I would collect rocks, and I would hold the rocks. I would put them underwater, and I could feel the difference, I was a very touchy-feely kind of gal or a little kid, and I was feeling things very deeply. Like I remember so clearly that I would just, rub my hands together and pick up a rock and put it on my heart, and I remembered so clearly telling my mom, the rock has a heartbeat, and she would say, no, it doesn't. But I could feel it. I could feel the warmth, and I wasn't sure how to explain it. And sometimes I would get this overwhelming sense that something was about to happen. And then I would have these vivid dreams, and sometimes I'd wake up tired. But I would have these vivid dreams, which to this day, my husband still says, you were fighting demons again. It's so funny because, he says that I fight. So I just noticed, and for me, I would get quiet, almost frozen. And then boom, a day later, it would play out exactly as I felt it. I could hear, different voices, screams. If it was something ugly, I could hear screams, different things. And I know that some of you are out there probably thinking, okay, she's kind of crazy anyways, and she's old and she doesn't know much, or whatever your thoughts are. It doesn't change what happens to me, right? At first, I thought it was just a coincidence. Pero mujeres hermosas, chulas, I want to share with you that too many of these moments stacked up, and I knew there was something behind it, but I could not. I tried tried to explain to my mom. My mom was studying at that point in time. She was studying what was called ESP, which was something, perception, something, anyway, ESP, and she was studying psychology and all this stuff. And I just would share with her. Then the dreams would come at night, and I would say, Madre, oh my goodness, what is happening? I remember so vividly for a long time, I would envision something rising from outside my window in flames. And one of those times it was my mom, and she was all engulfed in flame, but she was sitting in a chair, and the chair was rising, and she was being burned. And it was just like, oh my God, I'm an evil person. I even went to confession. I went to confession because I thought, oh, I am a demon, right? This dream was so vivid, so real, so intense. Some of those dreams revealed messages and emotions and situations that hadn't even happened yet. Little did I know that that I was actually going to be soon experiencing them, which was very scary for me. Because let's be real, when you're young and you start realizing that your mind can access things beyond the logical world, it is not empowering at first. It is terrifying. I didn't want to say anything. I would watch these things happen. I didn't want to see anything. I then became very shy, very introverted. I'm an ambivert now. I understand that, but I became very shy. I hid it. And let me tell you why I hid it. I hid it because I empowered myself to be able to use these gifts, but one time I was very angry and I saw this gift unfolding and unraveling before me, causing harm to somebody that I loved, to somebody that I knew. So right away I buried it straight away I buried it. I buried it behind my straight A's at school. I buried it behind my degrees. I buried it behind my teaching positions. I buried it behind my dancing. I buried it behind my business success. I buried it behind my as an author success. But only one person saw me fully for what I was back in the day. Nada más una persona. And that was mi abuela. My paternal grandmother, my nana. My nana on my father's side was a curandera. She was a healer. Not the kind you read about in books, but the real deal. And I didn't know that what she was doing. I just thought, I'm like my grandma. She does not weeds, they're called herbs, right? And she would smash them and she would put like oils in them or vice versa. And then somebody would come and she would slather their injuries and things like that. And it's the first time I saw blood and I thought, you know what? I'm okay with it. So my grandmother on my mother's side was a curandera. And she used her hands, she used her voice, she used her prayers, she used her plantas, and she used her knowing, her wisdom. And that to me was so awesome. You see, I come from my grandmother, my dad's mother, which was my nana. She had 7 children. And of those 7 children, some of them had 4 to 6 kids. My dad only had 2. And so we were a lot of us that were cousins, right? And I was afraid to even talk to them. But my nana, she saw my fear. And one day she pulled me aside and she said, Mija, lo que tienes es un regalo. Don't fear it. Just honor it. And she taught me how to ground myself. And when visions got too loud, she showed me how to use herbs to calm my energy. And she told me never to use this gift for ego, but for service. And that moment, hermosas chulas, that moment when I heard her say that, planted a seed that would one day grow into who I am ahora. It is so important for you to understand that, that I was this young child not really knowing what was happening. But here I am today, and even now, really, truly, hermosas, chulas, even now, I still don't walk into rooms talking about this part of me. I don't introduce myself as somebody who sees auras. I don't hang my shingle out in front of my house saying, hey, I don't know what you call her, witch, bruja. I mean, that was my nickname. They used to call me, I had a boyfriend that would call me brujita, and he didn't even know I had this power, but somehow people would always call me bruja or angel or, things like that. Because the moment people find out, and let me tell you why, the moment that people find out that I have this gift, immediately they look at me, they square up and they say, okay, what does my aura look like? What color am I? And it's like, that's not how it works for me. I don't just flip a switch and boom, read you like a book. No. Hermosas chulas. It is sacred. What my gift is, I found out it is sacred. It is intuitive. And it has to feel right. It has to feel right. Do I use it for my intuition? Absolutely. Yes, I do. And when I do give in to those special rare requests, you've got to be somebody really special, and I'm usually about 90% spot on. That is not me bragging. No, I am not bragging. But that is me being humbled by something greater moving through me. You see, I work through the Creator, or should I say the Creator works through me. I don't do it for fun, and I surely don't do it for money, and I don't do it to impress anybody. I do it when there's a calling, when someone truly needs clarity, and I feel that, yes, this is right. Let me share. And I feel it in my gut, and I feel it in my heart, and I begin to shake. It took me a lot of years, and two cancer survivors, two survivals, to finally stop running from who I truly was. To stop separating my spirituality from my entrepreneurship. To stop thinking I had to lead with only logic and strategy. You see, I tried to bury my gifts inside of logic and strategy. In my head, I learned to be in my head instead of dropping down into my heart. And it took years, and still now I struggle with it. It just took years. But now I lead with both logic and intuition. Ahora, mi liderazgo está lleno de intuición y estrategia y lógica, ¿verdad? So yes, let me share that again. I lead with both. I lead with logic and intuition, strategy and soul. And I love it. So when somebody says, how do you lead? I say, I'm a servant leader, and I lead with strategy and soul. Let me repeat that in case you've never heard that. I am a servant leader who leads with strategy and soul. I use my logic and my intuition to make sure that I can be of service to you and allow my vessel to expand, to allow more light into our situation, into whatever situation I'm working on. And that's what makes me a servant leader. And you know that I've been on this kick for a long time about being a servant leader. It is so important. We see right now lots of people leading, but they're not leading with heart. They're not leading with soul. They're not leading with compassion. They are leading with logic, strategy, and inhumane strategies, right? But let me share something. Because I've lived through divine moments, I've seen the unseen. I lead with heart. But when you have lived through divine moments, when you have seen the unseen, you don't lead from ego. You lead from presence. You lead from purpose. You lead from corazón. Por eso, hermosas, chulas. That's why in all of my businesses, my Latina Biz Coaching, my author, my books, my journals, my singing, my podcasts, my yoga school, my Amazon store, my coloring books, and here, my podcast, you'll find a common thread. Alignment with who I am. I'm not chasing success. I'm aligning with it. And my favorite mantra is I don't chase, I attract, and everything that is meant for me will always find its way to me right away today. And I'm okay. I love it. So again, I just want to reiterate, I am not chasing success. I'm aligning with it. And that's what you want to do. You want to align with success. You want to expand your vessel to allow more light to come in so you can help others succeed. The more you help others succeed, the bigger success you have. So how do I do this? I ask myself every day, how can I be of service? Who do I need to service today? And that might be my dogs, and that might be myself, and that might be my family, and that might be my friends. But I ask myself every day, and somehow the universe responds. Someone books a clarity call. Someone sends me an email asking for help. Someone downloads one of my lead magnets. Someone messages me crying, saying, your words were exactly what I needed today. Amigas, chulas, hermosas, that is not luck. That is alineamiento. It's alignment. All right, Spanish and English. Alineamiento and alignment. My sixth sense is always at work. I just need to acknowledge it. But my sixth sense was a big reason why I created the Rock Your Biz Academy. Not just to teach MujerPreneurs how to make money online, but to trust themselves, to build with corazón, not just hustle, because your soul is your strategy. And listen, amiga, chula, hermosa, maybe you have felt it too. That gut feeling that you have, it's not going to go away. That dream you can't shake, it is a divine dream. That whisper saying that you are meant for more, that fleeting thought that crosses your mind that says, I am meant for more, it's on purpose. Guess what? Imagínate, you are not crazy, no estás loca. You are gifted. You have a beautiful gift that needs to come into the world. You have a beautiful gift that needs to be shared. And those gifts, whatever they are meant to guide you and not haunt you like they haunted me. So ahora, today, amigas chulas hermosas, I invite you to own your story. Whether your gift is creativity, maybe it's connection, maybe it's speaking, maybe it's healing or sensing the unseen. Don't hide it. Go with it. Don't wait for permission. If you were thinking about a sign, asking for a sign, wondering about a sign, praying for a sign, this is it. If you're still watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, remember to subscribe and hit that bell. And if you love this podcast, if you love this episode, share it out for more empowerment to more mujerpreneurs. Porque juntas, mujeres poderosas, we lead from the heart. And that is what unbounded success really looks like. When you lead from the heart, you create unbounded success. Hermosas chulas, if this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love for you to slide into my DMs or leave a comment if you're watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel and reply to my weekly email and tell me about your gift so I can celebrate you. I would love to celebrate you. And if you're looking for comunidad, for community, make sure to hit me up because I would love to have you in my community, in my Rock Your Biz community. And if you're ready to align your spirit with your strategy, come join me in the Rock Your Biz Academy. You don't have to build your empire alone. The link will be in the show notes, and if you're watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, the link will be in the description below. All right, hermosas chulas, this is Marti Angel, your host of the Mujer De Éxito Unbounded show. Gracias por escuchar. Thank you for listening, and remember, your success is not just about what you do. It's about who you are. Hasta la próxima, hermosas, chulas, mujeres de éxito unbounded. Keep sharing, keep saving, keep showing up, never apologize for your power, and make sure that you become the servant leader you're truly meant to be to allow more light to come into this world. As always, hermosas, chulas, have a beautiful day, everybody. Namaste. This is Marti Angel, your host of the Mujer De Éxito Unbounded, signing off. Adios.